Phil Phails. Life ain't always about the sink or swim. Life ain't always about chasing the wind. Whoa, Phil Phails.
In that, I really want to capture magic. In these interviews, I don't know what's going to happen. I don't know what we're going to talk about.
Right.
I mean, I have an understanding. I'm failing at something you've got an expertise in. And I'm inviting this practice into my life. And you've invited it into your life for years and years and years, went to school for it and studied it. I got my degree in radio, television, and film, but and I wanted to do commercial music production. I went out to LA and did it out there, and never thought I'd be surrounded by cameras and embarking on something like this.
Right.
So you're like an encyclopedia of knowledge for me to like probe, and so this is a pleasure and a real gift.
Yeah.
Of your time.
Yeah, of course.
Let's see. What kind of question do you think a young person starting out in this business, what would be a good question to ask? Like if you going into film school could ask you now a question or ask, you know, the master of the craft, what kind of questions do you think are good questions to ask?
Gosh, I mean, I think just as many as possible, really.
Yeah.
I mean, as many as you can get away with.
Yeah.
Look, I mean, everything's changing now, right? Like even before the pandemic, which was like, what, 4 years ago now?
Something like that.
There were different cameras, there were different editing software that people were using. And just within those couple of years, everything's totally different, you know. Phones have kind of taken over. You know, you see like Olivia Rodrigo shot a music video on an iPhone, and it looks awesome. You know,
yeah.
It looks really good.
Yeah.
And you know, I think the best kinds of questions are just like the ones that are presently in front of you. Like, don't hesitate to just wonder or linger on like, is it this or is it that? You know, and in certain instances, like you shouldn't ask questions. You should just go out and do it. You know.
Yeah. Let experience be your teacher.
Let experience be your teacher, and also let the experience of others also influence you too. Like learn from them a little bit, like, and collaborate with them. And
yeah,
I think probably one of the things I do is I linger too much on what like people's feedback on like my work. They'll be like, you know, I think, you know, you should be doing this. This is an improvement for how you should do something. And I'll sit with it and I'll be like, is that could be truth? Like there is truth to that.
Yeah.
And then someone else will tell me something completely different. Like, well, there is also truth to that because that is their truth. So which truth should be my truth? And you know, after a while, it's like, you know, just go with your gut a little bit.
Yeah.
You know.
I love this. Earlier today, I had an interview with a wonderful man. His name's Oscar, and he's a Mayan Taoist time traveler.
Wow.
And part of our discussion was about truth.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't think there's a capital T truth out there. I think there's small. And what I mean by that is, and what we discussed was like the map is not the territory.
Right.
Meaning that you have your map, I have my map. And this we're both in this room.
Yeah.
And this room, if we both described it, it would be totally different.
Yeah.
What you cue in, what's important to you, what within the frame of your experience, your wisdom, your like what you've been honed in to look at is different than mine.
100%. Yeah.
And so I think there's a way of taking in feedback with a grain of salt and also, you know, finding some internal reference for your actions.
Right.
You know?
Right. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, that definitely goes without saying, like you should read up on a subject as much as you can if you want to learn it better. But, you know, ultimately, yeah, you do have to stick with something that, you know, hones into to what's inside you and you know, this is your truth. This is what your voice is telling you to do. Cause that's the thing. Writers talk about this a lot. They say, you know, should I write what I know or should I write what I don't know? It's a huge argument in like screenwriting classes all the time. And you know, I, I, I see both. Like I see reasons for both. Like you should absolutely, you know, create some sort of fiction that is wonderful and beautiful and expands outside of the reality, our reality and of our world, you know.
Mm-hmm.
But there's also something kind of, you know, great and about learning someone's honest experience on something. Like when you watch like a biopic or if you watch, you know, a true story, it's cool to learn the outcome of those real conflicts that occurred in life.
Yeah.
And there's something special to that. And both are special. You can't argue that one is better than the other, I think. You really can't.
Yeah, I do improv. I've done it for a long time. And one practice in improv is kind of harvesting from your own awareness, from your own passions, what you know and learn and love and your experiences. And then that's kind of a foundation for whatever wildness springs forth.
Right.
You know, and so this might be akin to the mind-body debate. You know, is the mind separate from the body? Do you write about what you know? Do you write about what you don't know? Well, do we know anything at all, really?
Right. Yeah.
And then I imagine the answer might be just write. Just write.
Yeah.
Just do it.
Yeah, exactly. And fail at it.
Fail it. Yeah, over and over and over again.
Yeah.
And learn.
Exactly.
What's captivating for folks?
Yeah.
What grabs attention? What's captivating for you? Maybe
Right.
even.
Yeah.